God, even with glasses, the font is like this big. Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you, Max and Dave. Yes, you have to stay, okay. Motherfucker. My dear and old friends, for what I think was a flattering introduction. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to listen to it again later after I've changed into 1,000 layers of the ugliest clothes on the planet, apparently. Thanks for that, assholes. But I love you guys very much. And I'm so humbled to, I mean, really, I wear poncho to the table read once, and this is what I get. Okay, I'm so humbled to be invited tonight and to receive this honor. This organization holds a very special place in my heart. Its introduction into my life was, in a sense, my awakening and my coming home. For some context, I went to NYU's graduate acting program in 1990, just about the height of the AIDS epidemic. I fell in love with my favorite teacher, Paul Walker, for whom my son was named, because of his joy and exuberance. He looked at the world and at art with the wondrous eyes of a 7-year-old. During my first year, Paul started developing lesions on his arms, KS. I didn't know what Kaposi sarcoma was. The next year, they showed up on his mouth. I found out then that Paul had been diagnosed HIV positive in 1982. It had now developed into full-blown AIDS. In my third and final year, Paul started missing classes. At the same time, we were workshopping this new revolutionary play, Angels in America, Perestroika, with Tony Kushner. I was cast as Harper Pitt, and my future husband played Pryor. So in every corner of my life, this monster of a pandemic lurked. When we performed the show in our little black box theater, Paul was there, and we gave it to him. He was no longer teaching, he was living alone, had very little money, and he was declining. My fellow students between classes and rehearsals cooked meals for him and delivered them to his apartment. In December of 1993, at the age of 41, he was gone. It was a devastating loss. For years after, I searched for a place to put all these feelings, and it wasn't until a few years later when my new friend and television roommate, Eric McCormack, invited me to co-host Divine Design, that I found a place for it. And what a perfect place it was. I learned that this magnificent organization, Project Angel Food, not only made and delivered nutritious meals to people living with HIV/AIDS, but it also provided counsel and comfort. They were giving those bravely fighting for survival a sense of dignity and a feeling of community. It immediately made me imagine how this service might have lifted the burdens of my dear teacher's final days. I had found my cause, but more importantly, I had found reconciliation for all the pain and outrage and grief I had been carrying. People make fun of LA for being self-involved and shallow. Bite me. We got Project Angel Food. And it started me down a path that I often refer to as my soul work. I've been Population Services International's global ambassador for HIV/AIDS for over a decade. And with them, I have traveled to Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Malawi, where we brought pilot projects for new innovations that have increased testing, prevention, and accessible treatment in the most dire parts of the continent. I had the privilege of testifying and presenting the data about these projects before the House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa and Global Health. And as a result, the United States government gave $100 million for an expansion of these efforts. There are living angels all over the world working toward an AIDS-free generation, and that is now finally within reach. But there is still a lot of work to do. There is so much awfulness going on in the world today. So many of us being attacked by this administration, the LGBTQ community, women, minorities, immigrants, children, Muslims, the environment, and the press. And it is our responsibility, our duty, to speak up, step out of our comfort zones, and stand up for those without a voice. So many people in the world are struggling, so many more struggling just to survive, and so many right here in Los Angeles. I am filled with gratitude and hope knowing that Project Angel Food is there providing vital and essential services to those who need it most. Thank you, Eric and Janet, for pointing me in the right direction. Thank you to Peter Gursky, our uber-talented set decorator, who has also been an essential force in Project Angel Food's success. You truly are doing God's work. So please support them, give them your time, give them your money. That, I think, is the only way we can make sure our brothers and sisters are nourished and loved. I am so grateful to be here. Thank you.